Hello everyone and welcome back to another video, and today we are going to do some testing with the new navigation update, which is version 2021.8. Now it is a new version, and the last one, that's been quite a while since we've had an update, because the last one was actually pulled again because it had a lot of wrong data. Now let's see in this one how good or how bad it actually is, and if there are any changes that we can detect with this data. So up ahead we have that change to 50 kilometers an hour, where the car continues on autopilot at 50 kilometers an hour, or sorry, at 70 kilometers an hour, where it should slow down to 50. Let's see if that has changed via the speed data. So it should go down to 50. It's recognized, but autopilot is not slowing down to 50. I have to manually adjust that, because only at this point, otherwise it would slow down. So that is still a problematic point, and I can't see any reason why, if the car reads 50 kilometers an hour and it recognizes the speed sign perfectly, as it is doing here as well, why it doesn't slow down on autopilot. Now, interestingly enough, in Flanders, where I live, as of here, the speed limit is, or the regular speed limit is 70. So, and it recognizes that, but there is no speed sign for that. So that is the default speed, is 70 kilometers an hour. And every speed sign that was usually indicating 70 kilometers an hour, the default used to be 90 kilometers an hour. So now they changed that, and every speed sign that says 70 kilometers an hour is basically removed. So the car needs to know that after an intersection, it can go back to 70 kilometers an hour. Or when it exits the city center, it can go 70 kilometers an hour. So this is something that is geofenced, and that is definitely database driven. So let's find out if there might be some issues with that database, like there have been in the past, or whether they have been resolved. Now, another very interesting test point is definitely the speed bumps or the speed plateaus, where the car can only drive 30 kilometers an hour, and that's legal speed. It's not because of the speed plateau and you might damage the car. No, it is actually the legal speed on those situations. But I found before this update that the 30 kilometers an hour was just applied too late. You were already on it or past it, and then it was saying, hey, you can go 30 kilometers an hour. Let's see if anything changed here. Nope. It is going to take that at 70 kilometers an hour, which is definitely not good. Wow, that would have been quite some damage to the car, I suppose. Now, after this upcoming bend, I'm leaving the city center, where the speed limit is 50 kilometers an hour. So automatically I can accelerate to 70 kilometers an hour. So on the right you see that white sign with the red line cross through it. That means the end of the city center. And as of that point, I can do 70 kilometers an hour. Still says 50. It is not willing to change. It was doing that with the previous data, so with the previous navigation data, it was doing that perfectly. So all the time I could have been doing 70, but I'm still at 50 kilometers an hour, completely limited. Now here is a side street, which is also the end of a 50 zone, and 70 would be the default. Still saying 50 kilometers an hour. Now this is on the route of my commute, and I know that before I got the update the car was saying, okay, you can do 70 kilometers an hour before I could actually do it on this section. But right now it is still staying at 50, which in this case is correct. And only up ahead again you will see an end of city center sign with that red line through it, and as of that point I can do 70 kilometers an hour. Let's see if the car now knows I can do 70 as of this point. Yep, so here it is doing okay. So the previous one, end of city sign, no problem. Well, actually a big problem because it was not adjusting, but here it says okay, you can go to 70. It's very inconsistent behavior at the moment. Now let's do a couple more checkpoints. Up ahead I know there is a speed bump where it actually changed speed, but too late. So again, approaching it at 50 and no 30 kilometers an hour shown anymore. It was doing it consistently at this point. So yeah, definitely some speed data has changed in the background, but it's more bad than good, unfortunately. Now here we are again at the end of the city center, 50 kilometers an hour. It recognizes an end of something, so it recognizes the sign apparently, but it still says I can do 50, while in reality I can now do 70 kilometers an hour. So that is again an error in the whole speed sign reading and speed sign application or database speed application. So let's see where that car is. There's another road, so again that should be another trigger that I can do 70 kilometers an hour if it applies it this way. Nope, still 50 kilometers an hour. Now here up ahead I am again crossing a side street, which is an intersection then, and after that intersection here on that next house where that car is parked, as of this point I can do 70 kilometers an hour. Now it didn't work in the previous one, and that hasn't changed either here. So here I can do 70. Let me make sure that I don't hinder traffic behind me and accelerate a little bit. What the previous update was doing is, as of that corner or that turn up ahead, it was saying okay, now you can do 70 kilometers an hour. Again, intersection right, intersection left, and no default speed of 70 kilometers an hour. So you're stuck on autopilot on this 50 kilometers an hour, and it has no idea what the actual speed limit is that you can do here. Now we are in the city center and you see the speed sign of 50 kilometers an hour. So the car is taking that 50 kilometers an hour. Now behind that traffic light, a little bit behind that, there's a sign that allows me to drive 70 kilometers an hour again. So let's go through the traffic light. And behind this turn you see a yellow sign, and that yellow sign basically says, well, you can do 70 kilometers an hour now again. And let's see if it changes, because the previous version did. Slowing down a little bit for that jogger there. But again, 50 kilometers an hour. Come on, Tesla. How hard can it be to get these speed data just right? You know what? I'm gonna do one more, and I'm keeping the best one for last. So I'm within the city center. I can do 50 kilometers an hour, which is correct. Right now I have a speed sign saying, well, you can do 70 kilometers an hour. So the car says, fine, I can do 70 kilometers an hour. Up ahead, that white sign, you should know it by now, is the end of the city center. What does the car do? It says you can do 50 kilometers an hour. while I can just do 70 kilometers an hour. Right, time for a conclusion, and the conclusion is very simple. I just have one question for Tesla. Please revert the update again, because the speed data is horribly wrong in so many places that the autopilot becomes almost useless on non-highways. So where it used to be like 70% of the time the data was right and 30% it was wrong, which was already a lot, I think now the data is wrong in about 60% of the cases, and that's just not workable. And I have no idea how this can be so bad and how Tesla is not able to do the speed sign reading properly. They know the signs, they can read the signs, that is working all fine, but there's also some database specific stuff behind it, and I don't know where they get their database. I remember vaguely that they purchase the data from somebody. I don't know who that third party is, but that database is definitely wrong. So maybe they should look to Google, but perhaps the licensing cost is just way too large. Or other TomTom and that kind of people to just get the proper data, and then things would be a lot better than what they are now, because now with the navigation update it's horrible. Now I've shown you on a couple of data points. Now on the same route I could have shown you like 20 or 30 more wrong data points. It is so bad at the moment, it's not even funny anymore. And things might be different for you in your region, I don't know, but where I've been driving, and I've been driving other routes as well, it's wrong in so many cases. And yeah, I hope for you guys you get a lot better data than what I've been getting in my neighborhood. But yeah, I'm afraid this is related to the new navigation update, because it was fine before the update and now it is not. So yeah, as I said, Tesla, please revert the update or get some better data and push that better data as soon as possible to the car, because yeah, as I said, it's not really workable anymore at this point. So hope you find this interesting. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and make sure you click that little bell icon so you don't miss out on any of the new videos. And for now, thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one. Bye bye.